we're going to talk about the wild journey from being a casual chess player to becoming a top-tier grandmaster. But here's the twist. We're not going to teach you openings or tactics. Nope, we are going way deeper into the massive shifts in mindset that you absolutely have to make to climb the mountain of chess mastery.
So, what is the real difference between your average club player and someone like Magnus Carlsen? It's not just that he knows more moves. You got to think of the ELO rating system like this enormous, treacherous mountain. Getting to the top isn't just about training harder. It's about completely rewiring how you see the board, your opponent, and even yourself.
Okay, so let's start climbing. Before you can even take your first real step up this mountain, there's one thing every single player has to conquer. It's this one terrible habit that keeps almost everyone stuck at base camp. And the tricky part is, it feels so natural, but it is absolutely fatal if you want to get any better.
So, part one of our climb is all about making this first fundamental shift. It's about leaving behind a deeply flawed way of thinking that, let's be honest, almost every beginner uses. It's called hope chess. What in the world is hope chess? Well, it's exactly what it sounds like. You know the feeling, right? You make a move, you set up a little trap, and then you just cross your fingers and think, oh, I really hope they don't see that. You're not actually playing chess, you're just playing the lottery. It's a pure gamble. And a master, well, a master never gambles if they don't have to. And this is where you see the first huge gap in thinking. The 1200 rated player is totally stuck in their own head, just hoping their opponent messes up. But the 2700 rated master, oh, they are playing a completely different game. They operate from a place of what we call absolute resistance. They don't just assume their opponent sees the threat, they assume their opponent will find the single best possible move against it.
And this right here, this question, is the secret sauce. After a master finds a good move for themselves, their first question isn't, is this good for me? It's this: what is the most annoying, most clever, most frustratingly brilliant defense my opponent can play against this? You see, by asking that, you kill hope and you replace it with cold, hard objectivity. That is the first real step up the mountain.
Okay, so we've left hope chess behind. Now the real ascent begins. Once you've stopped hoping and started resisting, you have to learn the deeper language of the game. You've got to go from just seeing pieces to understanding the very soul of a chess position.
So what is the soul of chess? You might think it's the powerful queen or the mighty rook, but it's not. It's the pawns. The pawn structure is the actual skeleton of the game. It decides which squares are strong or weak, which files are going to open up for attack. It dictates everything. Understanding the pawn structure is like finally learning the grammar of chess. And when you get that, you can unlock a super advanced concept called prophylaxis, the art of the quiet move. A master doesn't just react to what you do, they stop you from doing it in the first place. First, they look at the board and figure out your biggest, most dangerous idea. Then, they make a simple, quiet-looking move that just shuts it all down. And now that your plan is completely ruined, they're free to do whatever they want. All right, we're approaching the summit now. The air is getting thin up here, and the thinking is just on another level. This is the world of the true master, where the skills start to look almost superhuman to the rest of us. I mean, just try to wrap your head around this for a second. The raw processing power is mind-boggling. In a really critical, complex position, a master isn't thinking 2 or 3 moves ahead. They are accurately calculating lines that go 10, 12, sometimes even 15 moves deep. It's a kind of mental gymnastics that is just wow.
But you know, it's not just about being a human calculator anymore. The modern master has to do this incredible dance between human creativity and machine perfection. They have to rely on their intuition, their psychology, their strategic genius, all the human stuff, while using these monster computer engines for preparation. The real skill is using the engine's brutal precision without letting it kill your own human spark.
And then you get to the absolute peak, the final boss level of chess. At this point, you're not just playing the pieces on the board. You are actively playing the human sitting across from you. You learn their habits, their fears, their tendencies, and you craft moves specifically designed to make them uncomfortable, to push them until they make that one tiny mistake you're waiting for. So we've made it. We're standing at the summit. What does the world look like from up here? What is actually going on inside the mind of a true chess champion who's completed this incredible climb?
Well, the biggest takeaway is that the transformation is total. It's a complete metamorphosis. A player goes from just hoping to absolute clinical resistance. They go from seeing cheap tactical tricks to understanding deep, long-term strategy. It's an evolution from just calculating moves to a relentless quest for perfection, where the game is no longer about the pieces, it's about a battle of wills. And this pretty much says it all. For a top Super Grandmaster, a tiny advantage that a computer might call plus 0.3, that's less than half a pawn. That's not just a slight edge, that's a guaranteed win. Their technique is so flawless, their will so strong, that they can take the smallest imaginable inaccuracy and convert it into a victory almost every single time. It's a level of perfection that is just breathtaking.
So that's the blueprint, the path to mastering those 64 squares. It's a journey of discipline, objectivity, and ruthless self-improvement. And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What's the mountain you're trying to climb? And what mindsets do you need to change to reach your summit?